Daozu, I come from Earth. Introduction. Young Yang'an, standing at the highly anticipated Glory God celebration, was unexpectedly traveling through a different world while being interviewed by a beautiful little sister. An unspoken dream. To marry a gentle and beautiful daughter. Law, and the grandfather of another world can satisfy him dozens of times in just a minute. Yang'an was frightened. From, what should I do? Don't panic. Daozu system to assist. Chapter 1. Dreams. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. Yang'an, in The Second Life, you have reached the peak of the Mahayana realm and become the top expert. May I ask if you have any other dreams? At the first official Honor God celebration of the virtual online game, Second Life, on Earth, Bird's Nest, the beautiful host looked at a young man wearing sunglasses and holding a blind cane and asked, "Dreams in Second Life or real life are possible? Is that so? Then I have 4 dreams. Oh. God, you said. Firstly, I hope to truly cultivate. Secondly, I hope to truly cultivate. Thirdly, I hope to truly cultivate. Cough, God, you're so humorous. But it's probably difficult to achieve. It's difficult. But it's not impossible. What does Shin mean? Can I tell the truth? Of course, just say it, great God. Upon hearing the host's affirmative answer, Yang'an suddenly seemed not blind and looked around, saying, After I was promoted to the Mahayana realm, I clearly felt the mystery of spiritual power. For example, little sister, you are 168 tall, 52 weight, with a circumference of 89, 62, and 87. Right. Well, you are also an inconvenient day today. That's right. This is spiritual perception. Unfortunately, there is no heaven and earth spiritual energy in reality. Otherwise, I think. Maybe you can really practice. Pretty host girl, with a shocked and confused expression on her face, by the way, everything is right. How could it be? Yang'an, did you get any news from someone else somewhere? Do you still believe it? Yang'an, holding a cane for the blind, suddenly pointed towards the sky like a sword, and his whole body followed his words, emitting a momentum that shocked tens of thousands of people in the audience. That is an invisible force. Tens of thousands of people present suddenly felt the illusion of being in Second Life. Sleeping trough. How amazing. Little brother, you're so awesome. Kneel down. Old Thai 6666. Spiritual power. Is this true? Second Life is a virtual online game officially launched by Huaxia, with brainwave access and a high fidelity of 90%. Blind people are not blind when entering, and lame people are not lame when entering. Any feeling is very real. At this moment, Yang'an's aura is clearly like the spiritual pressure in Second Life. Just as everyone was amazed, the young and beautiful female host fell into a daze, unexpectedly suddenly. Click. A thunderbolt appeared without warning, fiercely hitting Yang'an. On that day, major media outlets and front-page headlines. Yang'an, the first master of Second Life, passed away at the age of 24. The eerie cause of death shocked the world. Countless people at the scene speculated that the great god Yang'an was not dead. The momentum of that moment, the thunder that appeared out of thin air, and the host girl who is nearby but unharmed, there is always a mystery that science cannot explain. The great god Yang'an has crossed the tribulation and ascended. Truly great, the reason is as follows: we do not accept refutation. Yang'an, the great god, proves that the Second Life can cultivate spiritual power. Any news about Yang'an has become a hot topic among the public. Unfortunately, Yang'an can no longer see it. My 4th dream is to marry a gentle, virtuous, dignified, and most importantly, an extremely, especially, absolutely beautiful little daughter. Law. This is the last dream that Yang'an never had a chance to say. At this moment, Yang'an stared blankly at the unfamiliar environment in front of him. Yes, it's watching. He can see now, his eyes are not blind anymore. How could such a scene suddenly appear when I was answering the host's question at the official Honor God celebration organized by Second Life? Moreover, there are countless memories in my mind. Yang Anman compared. After a long time, when Yang An had digested the memories in his mind, he finally confirmed that he had encountered the legendary time travel. Yang An, 16 years old, a martial artist in the state of quenching body, is the legitimate grandson of the head of the Yang family, the largest dog in Qingshui County. Known as the most beautiful man in Qingshui County. But the only downside is that he is a legendary low-energy person. It is said that at the time of his birth, a celestial anomaly occurred and his head was struck by lightning. At this moment, due to the failure of forcefully breaking through the bone-quenching realm, Yang An came through. It's not about getting married, it's not about getting married. The bitter hatred of having no family or sect destroyed. He is not an abandoned genius either. Does the grandpa carry any wood with him? Is there any space for the jade butterfly to carry around? Is there any wood? Or an external system? Yang An racked his brain and howled for a long time, but Mao's golden fingers didn't even notice. Although there was a slight disappointment, Yang An could still accept it. Even a little excited. Not only is I no longer blind, but it seems that I can really practice. Besides, it seems that my spirit is still changing, and this. Is this the aura of heaven and earth? Yes, absolutely. It's the same as the feeling in Second Life. Besides, my body seems very strong. No sadness, no confusion, no fear. Yang An's clear and profound gaze shone with a hint of excitement and excitement. This is a world similar to the Second Life. He could clearly feel that the spiritual energy of heaven and earth around him, as well as his physical body at this moment, were the pinnacle of the martial arts realm he had experienced in his Second Life. The quenching body realm. Bang! Feeling the true power, Yang An's muscles and veins were bulging all over his body, and his qi and blood were condensed, hitting the hard rock wall with a punch. The real feeling. This is real. Taking a deep breath, Yang An heard the shouting outside the door and temporarily suppressed his excitement. He stood up and pushed open the door of the cultivation room. Shaoan. In front of the door, an elderly man with white beard and hair looked at Yang An with an expectant expression. Grandpa. The memory in his mind naturally made Yang An cry out. The old man in front of me is the head of the Yang family, Yang Chaozhou, his grandfather. Shaoan, did you succeed? As Yang Chaozhou spoke, he took a step forward and grabbed Yang An's wrist. Suddenly, a warm energy surged into Yang An's body. It feels like ants invading his limb bones through muscles along their meridians. Before Yang An could answer, Yang Chaozhou's expression darkened and he released his hand. Sure enough, even the breaking pill is useless, sigh. Yang Chaozhou sighed helplessly and immediately looked at the courtyard door behind him, waving his hand and saying, let's all come in. At the next moment, Yang An widened his eyes and looked bewildered. A girl dressed in elaborate attire rushed in, either plump, slender, or delicate, or tall and seductive, ranging from 18 or 19 years old to 15 or 16 years old, all of whom shyly approached Yang An and stood in line, looking at Yang An who had just left the stage. She bowed and saluted. Say goodbye to the young master. Say goodbye to the young master. Farewell to the young master. Yang An was dazzled by the sight. Shaoan, these are all the girls that Grandpa personally helped you choose. We are the most beautiful and talented girls in Qingshui County. Choose whoever you like, choose a few from the few you like, and everything will be fine. In 3 days, Grandpa will hold the most grand wedding in Qingshui County's history for you. My head is full, Grandpa, what are you doing? Yang An's voice trembled a bit, and his legs were trembling while reading. His fourth dream was just to have a beautiful daughter. Law, but he never thought about it so much. More importantly, although these girls were not unattractive, and even some were still very beautiful little sisters, they clearly did not meet his standards. Besides 30 whole ones. If you want everything, there is no pair damaged field, only tired cows. Does the old man want to shi himself? Grandpa wants to take care of his grandson. Yang Chaozhou looked at his foolish grandson and said helplessly. Grandpa, I'm only 16 years old. Shaoan, Grandpa is old and won't be long to live. Grandpa, I've worked hard to pull you up with a bunch of feces and urine, but you're still 16 years old and can't break through to the bone-quenching realm. Even the breaking realm pill has failed. The enrollment of Baiyun University is approaching, and you don't even have the qualification to register. Sigh, it's destined to be hopeless. Grandpa can only hope for his great-grandson. That's settled. 3 days later, Grandpa will hold your wedding. The old man said arrogantly. Grandpa, I refuse. Bunny, do you want to die? Yang Chaozhou blew his beard and glared. I don't want to. Do you dare to refuse Grandpa? Grandpa, is it easy for us young family? Me. Your father, that bastard who is unfilial, has been gone for 10 years without a trace. Even you are going to rebel. I won't listen to Grandpa, right? Listen, I'm listening, it's just, Grandpa. No, it's just settled. Grandpa knows you like Warner, but everyone has their own goals. Warner is destined to be impossible for us to keep, so don't think about it. Choose it. The old man waved his sleeve arrogantly and pointed at the 30 girls of warblers and swallows. Chapter 2. Self-created technique, activate. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Warner. Yang frowned slightly, and a warm and beautiful figure came to mind, which made his mood slightly ripple. The Mu Weiner in my memory is indeed very good. Pure and beautiful, with a water-like and graceful voice that is very pleasant to listen to. She is only 16 years old and has already become very beautiful. A year ago, Mu Warner successfully entered the realm of bone-quenching and, according to the imperial regulations, broke free from slavery on her own. Now she is a genius girl with 3 levels of bone-quenching realm, and can safely be admitted to the Baiyun University that everyone dreams of. This is a genius beautiful girl. Yang, who has traveled through time, really wants to meet him. However, through the memory of the little fool, Yang vaguely feels a bit uneasy. The little fool seems to be licking a dog, quick pick. The urging sound of Yang Chaozhou awakened Yang's thoughts. Grandpa, isn't the assessment at Baiyun Academy still a few days away? I feel like I can break through. Yang came to his senses and said, although I couldn't break through with the breaking pill this time, I seem to have grasped the opportunity for breakthrough, and I feel like my whole body is much more energetic. Grandpa, was I foolish before? Shaoan, what are you joking about? Yang Chaozhou looked at his foolish grandson in shock. Really, it feels different now. Grandpa, just give me a few more days. It's not bad to get married, is it? If I can't break through by then, I'll follow your old arrangement. Yang can clearly sense the current state. The little fool is already at the peak of the body-quenching state. Breaking through to the bone-quenching state is really not a big deal. Otherwise, wouldn't he have blinded the spiritual realm of the peak of his Mahayana state and the true spiritual power mutation? It's okay, Shaoan. This is what you said. Grandpa will give you 10 more days. If you can break through to the bone-quenching state, I won't force you to marry and have children. Otherwise, you will obediently obey Grandpa's arrangements. No problem. Yang responded without hesitation. Yang Chaozhou frowned slightly. Today, it seems that his foolish grandson is really a bit different. I used to be foolish, how could I refute him? And he said so much once, logically negotiating terms with him. Have you really grasped the opportunity for breakthrough? Has your head also become more agile? But even if he realizes that he has just failed, it is impossible for him to break through the realm again in just a few days, right? Attacking the realm requires a long time to gather the power of qi and blood, and one should work hard. Yang Chaozhou is extremely certain of this. But in order to make Yang completely give up, Yang Chaozhou still agreed to a 10-day grace period. In 10 days, he can still afford to wait. Yang watched as the old man and a group of warblers and swallows left, feeling a series of sighs in his heart. Undoubtedly, he is the largest dog owner in Qingshui County. As long as he is willing, his former fourth dream can be achieved 30 times more in just a minute. I feel a little excited when I think about it. Unfortunately, that's just the last dream. Yang breathed a sigh of relief, carrying his hands on his back and basking in the golden sunlight. He greedily breathed in the fresh air, feeling the spiritual energy that truly existed between heaven and earth. He walked slowly, gazing at this brand new world. Tsang pine and shui cypress, exotic flowers and plants. Green bamboo and green lotus, pavilions and pavilions. Under the bright sunshine, it exudes vitality. Just like Yang and state of mind at this moment. New student, really special size good duck, young master, you have passed the level. Well, good morning, Aunt Lu. Ah, good morning, young master. Aunt Lu, who was responsible for taking care of the garden, looked at the foolish young master in surprise. In the past, the foolish young master had never greeted her except for a silly smile. Fubo, where are you practicing swordsmanship? Good morning. Fubo, Li Qingfu, in the late stage of the Wash Marrow realm, the Yang family was no less skilled than Yang Chaozhou. Yang En's mind flashed with information about Fubo, and he was slightly surprised. Fubo's realm was slightly lower than Yang Chaozhou's, but his combat power was no less than Yang Chaozhou's. Since Yang En remembered, Fubo has been guarding him closely. Young master, have you made a breakthrough? Fubo, who was exercising in the morning, felt a twinkle in his eyes when he saw Yang En. At this moment, Yang En is radiant, full of energy and energy, as if he has been replaced by someone else. Well, not yet. Yang En scratched his head and smiled. Is that okay? Li Qingfu frowned slightly with a hint of doubt in his eyes. Young master's complexion is very good, and I thought. Young master, I'll go get you something to eat. Okay, thank you, Fubo. By the way, Fubo, is Wana here? Wana. She should be closed in school. She hasn't come back for many days. Li Qingfu, with a hunched figure and a kind face, hesitated a bit in response. Oh. Yang En touched his nose, frowned slightly, and didn't say much. He is no longer the little fool he used to be, how could he continue to be a licking dog? Licking a dog is not a good way to die, only fools do it. The top priority is to cultivate. The real cultivation, Yang En is excited to think about it. Arriving at the bathroom, Yang En took off his dirty clothes and jumped into the luxurious white jade bathtub connected to the mountain spring, circulating and washing himself clean. Then he changed into a set of spotless white clothes, and with his long hair draped around, he stood in front of the exquisite bronze mirror. Quietly looking at oneself in the bronze mirror. He is truly the most handsome guy in Qingshui County. On Earth, before being blind, Yang En was not only a top student, but also a school grass. He was definitely very handsome, but compared to the little brother in the mirror, there was a clear gap. Brother Dai, you are indeed very handsome, but in this world where strength is paramount, strength is the key. On Earth, you can be a popular little fresh meat, but here, appearance is useless. Yang En said fiercely to the little brother in the mirror who had made him addicted. Immediately, he resolutely and decisively withdrew his gaze. I can't look anymore, I'm afraid of bending. He suddenly felt that his fourth dream was clearly to marry a beautiful little wife just like himself. This idea is so terrifying. In the small martial arts arena of Yang En Biayuan. My physical state, mental state, memory. I feel like all the martial arts in the second life should be true, right? But after all, it's a game, and there seems to be no specific cultivation secret. I remember the operation root of the martial arts. Also, my divine soul realm seems to be in the Mahayana realm. My spiritual power is much stronger than in the reality of the earth, and this should be based on my own martial arts realm. It takes 10 days to complete the body quenching, it's simple. The little fool has not broken through for 3 years of cultivation, and the foundation is solid. What's missing is the opportunity to understand and break through. Ancient body quenching technique, can I rely on the original operation route to cultivate? Give it a try. Yang-en could feel that his divine soul was still in the Mahayana realm, but limited by the physical realm, his spiritual power was limited. As for his state of mind, it was just a one-click cultivation game, and it couldn't be considered true. Similarly, based on the memories in his mind, Yang-en could clearly feel that all the techniques in his second life should be true. The only difference is that there is no secret script for the initial cultivation. That is to take the first step. After all, in the game, one-click cultivation is enough to learn. Taigu Chui Ti Shu is the highest level of body quenching technique for martial artists in the body quenching realm. It refines the muscles and tendons of the whole body, strengthens the power of qi and blood, and the maximum refining degree can reach up to 100%. This is the skill obtained by Yang-en when he completed his first boss's first kill in his second life. Yang-en, with the perspective of a peak master in the Mahayana realm, based on his current situation, the body quenching technique that the little fool remembers, combined with basic martial arts, began to deduce the Tai-gu body quenching technique. This is a reverse process, like a top-notch expert forgetting how to start practicing basic skills at the beginning of martial arts. Soon, Yang-en was immersed in a mysterious state. I don't know how long it took, but suddenly, reading www.yuukangshu.net, ding. As if the system prompt sound from the second life appeared in Yang-en's mind, followed by a few large characters emitting a dazzling light. Activation of the Daozu system. Daozu system. Damn it, is it a system stream? Just as Yang-en was shocked, the characters changed and a pop-up panel appeared. Dao coin. 0 pieces qi and blood. 91 plus spirit. 100.300, max, self-created technique. Basic body quenching technique, waiting for name, what kind of ghost is Dao coin? 0 coins. Didn't the system give it away? Where's the beginner gift package? It's too stingy. Qi and blood are 91, can you easily break through the realm when you reach 100? The plus sign behind is gray, which should be increased by consuming Dao coins, right? There is no plus sign for spirit, but this spiritual power. As the top expert in Second Life, Yang-en's interpretation of this game panel is completely useless. He quickly determined that his basic spiritual power of 100 is a value that matches his physical realm at the peak of his current quenching state. That is to say, he stimulates 100 mental powers without any backlash against himself. If it exceeds 100, the divine soul will suffer backlash, and 300 is the maximum spiritual power that his divine soul can withstand at this moment. If it goes any further, it's likely that the divine soul will self-destruct. My spirit is bound by the physical realm. As long as my physical realm is elevated, with the peak divine soul realm of my Mahayana realm, my spirit will be directly elevated. It's a bit amazing. Haha. Yang-en is well aware that if a martial artist in the quenched body realm has a spiritual power of up to 100, he is definitely a genius with extremely strong spirit. A spiritual power of 300, not to mention the body quenching state, is the bone quenching state. Those who can reach 300 spiritual power are considered geniuses with extremely high spiritual talent. Chapter 3. 10th. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Is it because I just successfully promoted the yin-yang quenching body technique and activated the system? Is naming considered complete? Will there be a reward for completing it? Yang An pondered, what's the good name? The best body quenching technique in the world. Invincible body quenching technique. It seems a bit vulgar. Daozu, with such a high-end, atmospheric and high-end system name, shouldn't our martial arts name be too vulgar? This is derived from the ancient body quenching technique, and is no longer considered a simple body quenching technique. So it's called the ancient golden body technique. The technique seems to be a bit low-end, so let's do it. It's called the Tai Gu Jin Shinju. Just as Yang An confirmed his name, the data panel changed. Dao coins. 10 pieces realm. 9 layers of quenched body realm chi and blood. 91 plus spirit. 100.300, max, self-created technique. Basic body quenching technique, Tai Gu Jin Shinju. I created my own technique and rewarded 10 Dao coins. Based on my gaming genius's experience, when encountering 9 that requires integers, they are all levels. When chi and HP are between 99 and 100, they are levels. The plus sign cannot be used randomly, and increasing 1 requires how many coins. Besides, system cheats can only be used as an aid, and it's really up to me. In this life, I want to experience real cultivation. 100 chi and HP is not the limit of the body quenching state, otherwise my spirit cannot explode to the limit of 300. This needs to be improved by my own cultivation. Starting from the ground, a towering building is the most crucial foundation. Yang An, a top student who can do whatever it takes, can't be clear about this. Taking a deep breath, Yang An bounced up and began practicing the Tai Gu Jin Shinju he had created. Fist techniques, palm techniques, leg techniques, footwork, body techniques under the mysterious circulation of chi and blood, Yang An went from being unfamiliar to proficient. Immersed in it, constantly trying, tirelessly. His posture has no aesthetic appeal at all, often even a simple mechanical repetition of a certain movement. But the power of condensed chi and blood is getting stronger and stronger. Fubo, who occasionally appeared nearby, looked extremely surprised. Unknowingly fierce. Yang An has never been ambiguous about what he has determined, let alone his dream. Number 1 is 99% sweat and 1% talent, and many people's efforts are far from the level of competing with others for talent. And Yang An's talent is so high that he often works hard and achieves heights that others cannot even reach with 10 or 100 times their efforts. It has been proven that many talented people are not just not hardworking, but also, not high enough talent. What's even more terrifying is having high talent and working harder than others, and Yang An is this kind of person. Yang An didn't know how incredible and crazy what he was doing at the moment was for others. Practicing day and night, devoid of sleep and food. Apart from the extremely necessary food, drink, and salad, I am almost constantly practicing. Squeezing the flesh to its limit time and time again, refining the muscles and veins that the little fool had refined. The degree of refinement is increasing, and the operation of the techniques is gradually becoming more cost-effective, including the combination of basic martial arts, which are becoming smoother and more perfect. In a blink of an eye, it was the 10th day. The strongest school in Baiyun County, Baiyun School, has also arrived for the registration test in Qingshui County. Early that morning, Yang Chaozhou arrived at Yang An's other courtyard. When he saw Yang An practicing, he frowned and said, "Shaoan, what kind of mess are you practicing?" Yang An woke up in shock, sweating profusely. He stopped and said, "Grandpa, why did you come? It's been 10 days. Little rabbit, you shouldn't have forgotten our agreement, right?" Yang Chaozhou's face was very unhappy. From a distance, he could see that Yang An was like a madman. Although he was full of energy, he was completely disorganized. The things he practiced were not the martial arts of the Yang family or the techniques of the Qingshui school. Is this the time to cultivate martial arts techniques? What about the agreed breakthrough state of quenching? Although he had no hope at all, it was a matter of attitude, and Yang Chaozhou was very angry. Has it only been 10 days? Yang An suddenly realized. Nonsense. Where is the bone-quenching realm? Immediately, Grandpa, wait for me for half an hour. After Yang An finished speaking, he turned around and walked quickly towards the bedroom. Shaoan, what's the point of procrastinating like this? Wake up. Grandpa understands your thoughts and has pulled down his old face to fight for you. Unfortunately, just the day before yesterday, Mu Weiner clearly refused Grandpa's proposal. Yang An stopped and frowned slightly. It seemed like after a moment of contemplation, I slowly turned around and looked at Yang Chaozhou, Grandpa, at most half an hour. After speaking, Yang An strode into the room and slammed the door shut with a loud bang. Seems very angry. Yang Chaozhou was stunned. Silly grandson seems to have been hit too hard. What Yang Chaozhou didn't know was that Yang An was also stunned for a moment. Well, he wasn't angry, didn't feel any impact, it wasn't intentional. His power surged and he just couldn't control it. However, after 10 days, Mu Weiner still hasn't returned and has refused her grandfather's proposal. What is Grandpa's proposal? Yang An is too lazy to think too much. Ha! Yang An sat cross-legged, took a deep breath, and looked at the panel. Dao coins. 10 pieces realm. 9 layers of quenched body realm chi and blood. 199 plus spirit. 100.400, max, self-created technique. Basic body quenching technique Tai Gu Jin Shin Ju, chi and blood have more than doubled. From 99 to 100 levels, one can break through the realm and enter the bone-quenching realm. However, Yang An has already broken through at some point and has been elevated to 199. But he hasn't started breaking through yet. As the power of chi and blood increases, the maximum burst of spiritual power also increases by 100 points. Yang An is very satisfied. Although it may not have reached its limit yet, it seems to be 3 points stronger than my body-quenching state in the second life. If I break through the 199 level, it will be natural to step into the bone-quenching state. Is it a point plus sign, or should I use the chi and blood pill to charge through the level? It is obviously impossible to break through the realm with one go by gathering chi and blood. Yang An doesn't have the time, otherwise he would have married many young wives. Although it's nice to think about it, considering that Grandpa wants to be a pig and give up his own cultivation, it's absolutely impossible either relying on the system or relying on pills. Dao coins can only be obtained through self-created techniques, difficult. It's better to use chi and blood pills. External objects are easy to deal with, so relying on external objects is crucial. This Dao coin needs to be used at critical moments. Qi and blood pills are basic cultivation resources, and their monthly routine is 3 qi and blood pills. With Yang An's realm, it is sufficient for his daily cultivation. Unfortunately, he didn't have any surplus. He used all the previous ones for Mu Weiner, and at this moment, he only has 6 qi and blood pills on hand. This still needs to be used in conjunction with the breaking boundary pill. But the little fool secretly stayed behind, wanting to leave it for Mu Weiner. It's really completely licking the dog. Otherwise, at that time, there was a fusion of the effects of qi and blood pills and breaking environment pills. Even if the breakthrough failed, it would not have shattered the soul of the little fool and made him powerless to return to heaven. Of course, if that's the case, there won't be Yang An's journey. Swallowing 6 qi and blood pills in one gulp, Yang An cut off all distractions. Start to gather qi and blood, and challenge the realm. At the moment when the 6 qi and blood pills entered the elixir field, they were ignited by Yang Anyuan's spiritual power beyond his own realm, transforming into rolling heat, quickly condensing, compressing, and slowly rotating. The mysterious aura immediately converged the power of qi and blood towards the dantian. The blood in dantian is becoming increasingly majestic and condensed. Zizi, pa 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 pa. Muscles and muscles began to twitch, emitting strange and soul-piercing sounds. This is the beginning of transformation. After a moment, Yang Yan's mind shook with a bang. Qi and blood finally broke through the level of 199, and in an instant, they were imprisoned and shattered, like a river breaking a bank. Qi and blood quickly soared, and in an instant, they sprinted to 232. At this moment, the condensed qi and blood in Yang An's dantian began to split one by one. Yang An is clear that the breakthrough is about to begin. The amount of qi and blood in the dantian that transforms into strands will penetrate into as many bones as possible. Yang An remembers that in his second life, when he broke through the realm, he simultaneously achieved 154 pieces of qi and blood entering the bones, 126 pieces of limb bones completely entering the bones, and 28 pieces of trunk bones entering the bones. This is a very abnormal situation. For most people, being able to achieve lower limb or upper limb bone penetration at once is quite good. How many pieces can be inserted into the bone this time? Yang An is looking forward to it. The condensed qi and blood within dantian rapidly flowed out in strands, quickly exceeding 154 strands, but showed no signs of stopping until 206 strands, which shocked Yang An. Although he was certain that this breakthrough would be stronger than the second life, he never expected surprisingly, it's 206. A total of 206 adult bones. What does this mean? Am I really amazing at meowing? When breaking through the realm, 206 pieces of qi and blood enter the bones, and the whole body's bones are completed synchronously. Outside the door, Li Qingfu arrived. Qingfu, do you think Shaoan can handle it? Sigh, although I know it's impossible, I still hope he can succeed. Yang Chaozhou said. Master, the young master is different. Maybe he can really do it. Fubo said. It's different. Yes, it doesn't seem like I'm too foolish. I might even lose my temper. Master, I'm not saying that. You haven't had time to see the young master these days, and you're not sure. In just 10 days, the power displayed by the young master has become stronger and stronger, making the old servant unable to believe it. Although the old servant can't see what the young master is practicing, he is indeed without any rules. But, Master, please take a closer look at the ground of the martial arts arena. Fubo pointed to the small martial arts arena in the other courtyard and said. Yang Chaozhou was slightly puzzled and walked towards the martial arts arena where Yang An was practicing with curiosity. What's going on here? Yang Chaozhou took a cold breath and his eyes were shocked. Chapter 4. How Strong I Am. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. The extremely hard bluestone ground is filled with pits and depressions, ranging from shallow to deep, with large and small cracks and grooves, which are clear footprints, fist marks, palm marks, and finger marks. This was all done by the young master during his cultivation. Fubo said in a deep voice. How could it be? Even martial artists in the early stages of the bone-quenching realm couldn't do it, right? Yang Chaozhou stared at Li Qingfu with disbelief. Cough, master, it's really. Fubo said truthfully. Yang Chaozhou's face was dull, and his lips trembled slightly. Li Qingfu continued, so I've been reading it for a few days but haven't understood it. Young master, these days, he's been sleeping and not resting, except for eating, drinking, and urinating. Almost all of his time is spent practicing various strange martial arts skills, as if he's using them to harden his body. More importantly, the young master's dedication and obsession are unprecedented. You've seen what young master looked like while he was practicing just now, master. Yes, Yang Chaozhou saw it and cursed. But at this moment even if Yang An's breaking realm pill did not fail and had already been promoted to the bone-quenching realm, his physical strength could not have skyrocketed to such an astonishing level, could it? Where is the power that can exist in the quenching state? But the fact is right in front of us. This not only shocked Yang Chaozhou, but also truly ignited hope. Is it really difficult to break through to the bone-quenching state, where the energy and blood of muscles and tendons can be condensed to such an extent? In less than half an hour, Yang'an has achieved a breakthrough. Panel data. Dao coins. 10 pieces realm. 1 layer of bone-quenching realm qi and blood. 399 plus spirit. 25500, max, self-created technique. Basic body quenching technique Tai Gu Jin Shinju. I'm so strong. I want to keep a low profile, but my strength doesn't even allow me to. Yang'an glanced at the data. Although I still have doubts about the growth of spiritual power, I don't have time to think much. I took a quick shower, changed into a white outfit, and combed my long hair neatly. I walked out of the room. A handsome and unparalleled face, with a confident smile. Well, the silly young master's signature silly smile. But at this moment, if someone you don't know sees Yang'an, without any preconceived prejudices, you absolutely can't tell it's a silly smile. The slightly raised corners of the mouth, the clear, bright, and profound gaze, exude the confidence and pride of the top student. Grandpa, my blood and energy have penetrated my bones, breaking through to the bone-quenching state. Now I'm going to participate in the test at Baiyun Academy. Yang'an said calmly with his hands behind his back. This posture crazy and flamboyant. Full of pressure. Breakthrough, with strength, don't pretend to be forced. What's the difference between it and salted fish? Shaoan, have you really made a breakthrough? Yang Chaozhou widened his eyes. Of course it's true. While Yang'an was speaking, without waiting for Yang Chaozhou to inspect, he simply landed and punched out. Shit. A cyclone formed by the power of qi and blood suddenly penetrated through the body, crossing a distance of 3 zhang before dissipating into the void. Although it was only a faint strand, it condensed to the extreme and was clearly visible. Qi and blood enter the bone, and the power of qi and blood can only break through the body and emerge. This is a sign of breaking through to the bone-quenching state. Okay. The bone-quenching realm has really broken through. My foolish grandson has finally opened up his mind. 3 zhang. Just now, he was able to control the power of qi and blood to a distance of 3 zhang. Ha ha ha. I knew for a long time that my grandson was born extraordinary. Otherwise, when he was born, how could there be heaven and earth anomalies, and how could he be struck by lightning? That's clearly why the heavens are jealous. Ha ha ha. Yang Chaozhou looked up excitedly and smiled incoherently. My old eyes seemed to have entered the sand, almost without tears streaming down my face. Wishing Sun Chenglong, pitiful grandpa's heart. It can be imagined what Yang Chaozhou expects from Yang'an. As the only inheritor of the incense in the Yang family's lineage, Yang'an can be said to be the only hope of the Yang family. Although Yang'an can understand grandpa's feelings and feel warm in his heart who wanted to force themselves to marry a bunch of wives and have children a few days ago. But now it has become something extraordinary from birth. Okay, Yang'an feels like he was born extraordinary because, I am a coward from Earth. Grandpa, it's not too late for you to be happy when I get into Baiyun University. Yang'an still carried his hands behind his back, tossing his flowing long hair in a coquettish manner. Okay, come with me. Our disciples from the Yang family have already passed. Originally, Grandpa didn't want to go and lose face. Even if you broke through, you didn't want to go, but now. You must go. Grandpa really wants to know your talent. The power of qi and blood, the ability to control qi and blood. Haha. Unfortunately, you broke through too late, and it's almost impossible to get into the Baiyun Academy. However, it doesn't matter anymore. Yang Chaozhou felt as if he was 10 years younger. Red light covered my face, sweeping away the previous disappointment. Qingshui County School is a school organized by the county government of Qingshui County. Most young people in Qingshui County who have cultivation talents will practice in schools. At this moment, on the huge martial arts arena, there are crowds of people and countless young people gathering in a winding long dragon, with thousands of them. In addition to the young people queuing, countless accompanying parents and influential figures from various forces in Qingshui County gathered on the stands around. The assessment of Baiyun University in Qingshui County is undoubtedly a major event for the entire county. At this moment, testing has not yet begun. On the high platform at the forefront of the queue, Shi Qianfang, the head of Qingshui County government, and several teachers from the school have already set up the testing site and are waiting for the arrival of the person in charge of testing at Baiyun School. The bone-quenching environment under the age of 16 is a basic condition for participating in the test. Hey, isn't this the foolish young master of the Yang family? It's been a long time since I last saw it. It seems that our first beautiful man in Qingshui County is even more handsome. What's the use of being handsome, flower enthusiast? I like it, you have to take care of it, it's so ugly. What's this little fool doing here? Is it difficult to break through? Don't joke, if a little fool can break through, how can I be promoted to the Wash-Marrow realm? That's right, the Yang family couldn't break through any of the resources they invested in him. If I had his resources, it would be absolutely amazing. As Yang walked slowly towards the position of the Yang family in the long queue, it immediately attracted countless gazes. Mofa, relying on one's face can become the focus of the entire audience. Yang paid no attention to the buzzing discussions. Little brother, why did you come? A handsome and tall tomboy in the Yang family queue, seeing Yang arrival with a silly smile, raised his slender eyebrows and asked in confusion. Information about his cousin Yang Jing came to Yang mind. Uncle Yang Lingxiao's third daughter, Ong Jing, is wearing a men's loose long shirt, with no visible ups and downs in her figure, and does not apply makeup. She looks more like a young master and is Yang sixth cousin. Just a few days older than Yang. She is also the most talented girl in the current Yang family lineage. Both her name and Yang were given at the same time. Quiet. Yang Jing. Although my cousin has the image of a man's wife, she is not ugly. She can be said to be quite good-looking. She has a tall and slender body, and although there is no obvious bulge or concavity, her legs are really long, very long, very long. She is as slender as Sister Jiling, without PS. Come and test it, Yang carefully scrutinized Yang Jing and said. Is there something on Sister's face? Yang Jing wiped her face twice and then said, Stop playing with me, little brother. Go back quickly, it's all up to you. Sister Lu, I'm really here to test. I've already broken through. Yang glanced at a group of Yang family disciples who clearly didn't like him much and said directly. What? Little brother, you broke through. Are you really fake? Don't lie to your sister. Yang Jing exclaimed in surprise. The disciples of the Yang family also looked surprised. Did you successfully break through before the assessment? Believe you a ghost, but it seems that the foolish young master wouldn't lie, right? What are you lying to? Sixth sister, where is Wanner? Little brother. Surprised Yang Jing, upon hearing Yang question, her eyebrows furrowed slightly and she hesitated to speak. Her gaze turned to the Chen family in front of the Yang family queue. Yang followed Yang Jing's gaze and immediately strode towards the direction of the Chen family, wanting to see the object that the little fool knelt and added. Little brother, what are you doing? Come back quickly, Yang Jing stopped. It's okay. Yang smiled slightly, disregarding Yang Jing's obstruction, and easily broke free from her hand, leaving Yang Jing frozen in place. With 3 levels of bone quenching, she couldn't hold on to Yang. Oh, isn't this a little fool? Little fool, why don't you hold your daughter.in.law at home? I heard your grandfather helped you pick out dozens of beautiful daughter.in.law, how happy you are. The little fool has gone to the wrong place. This is the testing area, and the audience area is over there. A group of male disciples from the Chen family spoke freely and ridiculed. But many female disciples of the Chen family looked at Yang and with a slightly different gaze. Amazing with pity, pitiful with saliva. Even if Yang and lacks a string in his head and his cultivation talent is not high, his rebellious appearance still makes it difficult for many girls to control their emotions. Yu reading www.yuukangshu.net. Many girls who have just started to love each other are all looking at their faces. Besides, Yang'an is still the only heir to the largest dog family in Qingshui County. Even a fool can accept it. Chen family, the second family in Qingshui County. Over the years, the legitimate disciples of his family have flourished and talented individuals have emerged. Compared to the sparse population of the Yang family, it is simply incomparable. In the foreseeable future, the Chen family will inevitably replace the Yang family and become the largest dog owner in Qingshui County. In fact, the Chen family's current strength is no less than that of the Yang family. Yang'an still didn't pay attention, a group of foolish people, he didn't bother to pay attention. As if not hearing the ridicule from the crowd, he slowly walked towards the two figures of the Chen family disciple with their backs to him. Mu Wan'er was wearing a red dress, with green silk reaching her shoulders, cascading down like a waterfall. The back is exquisite and undulating. Standing shoulder to shoulder with Chen Nan, the towering first genius of the Chen family wearing a blue robe and also the current first genius of Qingshui County. It really has a taste of standing out from the crowd. Chen Nan and Mu Wan'er, who seemed to be chatting and laughing softly when they heard the voices behind them, turned around. When Mu Wan'er saw Yang'an, her gaze was taken aback. A hint of embarrassment flashed by. Long time no see, silly young master seems to have become even more beautiful. Wan'er. Yang'an smiled and looked straight at Mu Wan'er with clear eyes, shouting. She is indeed a very beautiful little sister. With a pure and beautiful face and the gentle temperament of a young girl from Jiangnan, coupled with her already developing and delicate figure, she will definitely surpass the 30 candidate daughter.in.law carefully selected by Yang Chaozhou and Yang'an. No wonder little fools can't forget to become licking dogs. Chapter 5. Impossible to avoid vulgarity. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Young master, what are you doing here? After a brief moment of confusion, Mu Wan'er frowned and stared at Yang'an, saying. Of course it's a registration test. Yang'an smiled calmly. Register for the test. Did you break through? Mu Wan'er exclaimed in surprise, her eyes full of doubt. She doesn't think Yang'an can break through. If we could break through, we would have broken through long ago. How could we wait until now, and it happened so coincidentally? Of course. Not only did I break through, but I am also very strong. Wan'er, my grandfather has found me many young wives, but I think you are the only one who is barely suitable. Do you want to think about it again? Yang'an smiled and looked straight at Mu Wan'er with bright eyes, coming straight to the point. A handsome face and a signature silly smile. That gaze seemed to be filled with scrutiny and aggression. Mu Wan'er stared blankly at Yang'an, seemingly not expecting him to say so. No one is more familiar with Yang'an than she is. She feels that Yang'an today is a bit different. Although still smiling foolishly, the eyes were completely different from before, especially the words spoken. Mu Wan'er furrowed her brows and bit her lips lightly. Young master, is it the master's intention? Please convey to the master that Wan'er will represent the Yang family in the assessment. Wan'er will not forget the kindness of the Yang family to Wan'er, and will repay her tomorrow. However, she cannot agree. I have already made it clear. Wan'er is determined to pursue martial arts. Clearly and firmly refuse without hesitation. Although Yang An's expression was calm, his smile gradually disappeared. Deep down in my heart, I almost couldn't breathe a mouthful of old blood, determined to pursue martial arts. Why not add, we are destined not to be people of the same world. He meows, can this line still be as bloody as a dog? Warner, what's there to talk about with an idiot? After the test is over, I'll have my grandfather take you and talk to the head of the Young family in person. Don't live in the school anymore, it's not safe. Come and live at my house. Young and Warner can take care of you for a few years, which is already a blessing you have cultivated for several lifetimes. Just like you still want toads to eat swan meat. Chen Nan's gaze towards Yang An carried a chill, and Yang An's face posed a great threat to him. Although Mu Warner was close to him, she never agreed to be his Taoist couple, probably due to her close relationship with Yang An. Nan Gu. Mu Weiner interrupted Chen Nan and shook her head slightly to signal. The two characters, Nan Gu, are quite natural. Although countless people in Qingshui school call Chen Nan Nan Gu, Mu Weiner's name makes Yang An feel uncomfortable. Yang An glanced disdainfully at Chen Nan and then looked at Mu Warner again. Are you determined to pursue martial arts? Unfortunately. The little fool understood. Mu Warner, you don't need to represent the Yang family in the test. The Yang family hasn't fallen to the point where you rely on a maid to maintain their reputation. Also, the Yang family doesn't need your repayment. On behalf of my grandfather, I tell you that from today on, you and the Yang family don't owe each other. Well, that's it. Don't worry, the imperial law is in place. Since you have already left slavery, my Yang family still has basic dignity. After Yang An finished speaking, he turned around directly. No attachment, no reluctance. There is no anger, no blame, and no deliberate malice towards each other. Yang An is just about getting rid of the obsession left by the little fool in his heart. But, I really don't like it. I thought I was a clear stream crossing the world, but I didn't expect to be spared in the end. Little fool, did you see it? This is the girl you always longed for when you were on the brink of death. This is the girl you rely on and trust deeply in your heart. This is the girl you secretly gave her almost all of your cultivation resources. This is the girl you treat as the closest person to. And at this moment, it's the reality of red fruit. They don't like you, they hide from you, are walking close to Chen Nan, and are even more wary of you, the Yang family. Little fool, don't cry, I'll treat you to green tea. Yang An muttered to himself with self-deprecation. Little brother. Yang Jing, who followed, glared fiercely at Mu Warner and quickly caught up with Yang An, full of sympathy, pity, and heartache. He hooked Yang An's shoulder and patted her hard. Don't be sad, she's not the Warner she used to be, she's not worth your sadness. Sister Lu, do I look very sad? Yang An touched his nose and glanced at Yang Jing. Like. Little brother, don't cry, never cry, it's not worth it. Cough, sand, it's really sand. How could I cry? Yang An is so angry, damn it, I'm dead. I've invited you to drink green tea, but I can't help but cry. It's embarrassing, okay. It's sand. Shaoan in our family has always been happy. Don't worry, my sister will take care of you. With my sister in the Yang family, I won't collapse. In the future, my sister will find you a more beautiful and talented daughter. Law. Yang Jing patted her chest and said solemnly. Sixth sister is domineering. Yang An said helplessly. Jumping into the Yellow River is not enough to wash away. Well, he's too lazy to explain, it's just a little fool's problem anyway. At this moment, a grand and majestic voice echoed throughout the room. Congratulations to Professor Tang Qing and the 5 deacons of Baiyun School. Congratulations to you. Congratulations to you. Thousands of people in Qingshui County bowed, and 6 experts from Baiyun Academy walked calmly into the martial arts arena. With awe and admiration in their eyes, they looked at the 6 experts emitting a powerful aura. 1 innate realm peak, 5 innate realms on the 3rd or 4th floor, can be so majestic in Qingshui County. Yang An squinted his eyes. Martial arts realm, body quenching realm, bone quenching realm, marrow washing realm, innate realm. The peak of the innate realm is a master of physical perfection, whose muscles, tendons, bones, bone marrow, blood, 5 organs, and 6 viscera have all been refined and refined. In this small county town of Qingshui County, there is indeed a qualification for prestige. The old man Tang Qing's gaze swept over the crowd and decisively announced. Baiyun University, Qingshui County Exam Center, the annual enrollment assessment has officially begun. Candidates above the bone-quenching level are invited to appear one by one and start the test. With the sound of Tang Qing's words, a brilliant white light flashed past, and a black tower monument, 3 zhang high and covered with dark gray crystals, appeared in everyone's sight. This is a test tower monument. Only those who have reached the bone-quenching state of qi and blood release can conduct the test. The tester only needs to concentrate and use their strongest martial arts skills to attack the tower monument with the power of qi and blood. The more crystals that can be illuminated, the higher the final score will be. This is a comprehensive test of the martial artist's realm, strength, and talent. If you can light up 30, you can pass the test of Baiyun Academy. In previous assessments, the number of people who can pass in Qingshui County is mostly in single digits. Chenliang, come on. Chenliang, come on. The first teenager to take the test, named Chenliang, with 3 levels of bone-quenching environment, was an excellent student at Qingshui County School. In everyone's eyes, Chenliang has great hope of passing the test. Chenliang looked excited and slightly nervous. Years of hard work, just look at today. Unfortunately, the result came out, but Chenliang sat slumped on the ground, crying uncontrollably. 29 pieces, eliminate. Only 1 missing. What a pity Chenliang is, he just missed 1. Even if he didn't pass the assessment, I'm afraid I have no hope either. Yang Jing's face turned white, and her nervous palms were sweating. Chenliang's outcome destroyed her confidence. Sister Lu, you are much stronger than Chenliangqiang. Why are you so nervous? Yang turned his head to look at Yang Jing and said. Little brother, I have had a sparring with Chenliang, and I am not his match at all. That's because you're not good at practical combat, it doesn't mean you have talent and potential. This test tower tests all aspects comprehensively, and the most important thing is your talent and potential. How can Chenliang compare to you? And you have a unique skeleton, which looks like a martial arts genius. I have. Cough, 6th sister, don't worry. Don't worry about others, defeat yourself, and you'll win. Yang couldn't help but deceive Yang Jing and almost derailed as he stared at her. Little brother, how could you comfort your sister? Yang Jing looked at her silly younger brother in surprise. It's not comfort. Sister Lu, look into my eyes. Yang wore a signature, silly smile, and his gaze was clear and profound, staring straight into Yang Jing's eyes. Although Yang Jing was puzzled, she didn't dodge and looked at Yang. What's wrong? It looks really nice. Don't talk, don't move, listen to my commands, relax, take a deep breath, take a breath yes. Relax, exhale deeply, exhale, inhale, relax, exhale, relax. Yang An's hands, guided by his voice, gently pinched Yang Jing's head and pressed gently. At this moment, Yang Jing had already closed her eyes, as if hypnotized. The comfort emanating from her head quickly made her forget everything. Her body and mind are becoming increasingly relaxed. Hypnosis plus techniques from top massage masters in the blind world plus freshly produced chi and blood power plus spiritual control in the Mahayana realm, with a 4-fold effect. Yang sensed the changes in Yang Jing, and a smile gradually appeared at the corner of his mouth. The disciples of the Yang family around him, however, looked bewildered. What are Mr. Silly and Miss Six doing? How did Miss Lu fall asleep? Zhao Wu, 19, eliminate. Wang Jun, 14, eliminate. Wu Lei, 23 pieces, eliminate. Eliminate, eliminate, eliminate. The testing speed is very fast, and UU reading www.uukangshu.net has been eliminated for dozens of consecutive times. Chen Liang lit up 29 of them, which is actually the best result so far. Several teenagers on the third level of the bone-quenching realm lit up less than 25. Su Mingzhi, 15 years old, with 4 levels of bone-quenching realm, is a disciple of the Su family. A handsome and elegant young man with a childish face but a mature expression, calmly reporting his message in his voice. The whole room erupted into bursts of exclamation. Su Mingzhi, the legitimate disciple of the Su family in Qingshui County, was only 15 years old. Half a year ago, he was promoted to the bone-quenching realm, which shocked the entire Qingshui County and directly rose to a height comparable to Chen Nan of the Chen family. It is temporarily hailed as the second genius of Qingshui County and is highly likely to surpass Chen Nan in the future, but that will also happen a year later. But now, Su Mingzhi has been promoted to the 4th level of the bone-quenching realm. How could it be? Su Xiao is too powerful, right? He broke through to the 4th level of the bone-quenching realm in half a year. Su Mingzhi is only 15 years old. If he were to be assessed again next year, it would be really scary. Even Chen Nan is definitely not as good as him. Eyes turned one after another towards the direction of Chen Nan in the Chen family. Chen Nan's face remained unchanged, his eyes narrowed with a hint of disdain and disdain. Nange, Su Mingzhi has actually been promoted to the 4th floor, Mu Weiner said with a slight surprise. Forcefully elevating one's realm for testing is not worth the loss. The Su family's pattern is just like that. Chen Nan said calmly, Weiner, today we will each pass the assessment as the top male and female candidates, so that they can understand what true genius is. How about that? Okay. Mu Weiner responded. I couldn't help but look back at Yang An's direction. The gaze is a bit complicated. But she has no way out. Chapter 6. Achievements on Day 1. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Weiner, can't you still let it go? Chen Nan frowned slightly and said. He found that after Yang An came over, Mu Weiner was restless. No. Mu Weiner shook her head slightly and said. Weiner, I know your thoughts. You don't have to feel guilty. That idiot and the Yang family are indeed good to you, but that's what you deserve. Your talent and appearance are destined to be valued wherever you go. If you were in my Chen family, where would you wait until you break through the bone-quenching state to automatically get rid of slavery? Today, Yang Chaozhou still wants that useless person to marry you. It's really wishful thinking. So, it's not that you betrayed, it's that the Yang family doesn't know what to do and forced you to do so. Chen Nan said. A genius young man, regardless of his background, even if he is a slave, as long as he can be promoted to the bone-quenching realm before the age of 16, he will break free from his slave status, regain his freedom, and become an imperial warrior. This is the imperial decree. No force dares or can violate it. I understand. Mu Weiner lightly bit her lips and said. Just now, Yang An's words made her really uncomfortable, very uncomfortable. She is not betrayal, really not betrayal, she just wants to become stronger, she must become stronger. This is the golden age for cultivation. She doesn't want to marry a foolish young master and have children now, she's not willing. But seeing Yang An again today, especially her last words, the words that drew a clear line with her, and the scene of turning around without any attachment, made her heart ache and unable to breathe. How could the foolish young master say such words? She didn't explain. It cannot be explained either. As if losing the most important thing in life, my heart is empty. Is it wrong? No, she doesn't feel wrong. Bang! Su Mingzhi's palm was imprinted on the test tower monument, and crystal stones quickly lit up. The brilliant radiance made the scorching sun in the sky lose its color. At this moment, the sound of exclamation echoed throughout the room, causing Chen Nandu to frown slightly. Obviously, Su Mingzhi was stronger than he expected. 58. Amazing. Su Mingzhi broke last year's record. Stand VIP seats. Those who are qualified to sit here are all big shots from Qingshui County. Master Su, you are amazing. Your family has produced a remarkable genius. Congratulations. Please take good care of Master Su in the future. Master Su, Mingzhi's talent is amazing. When we celebrate, we need to inform our younger brother. I will definitely personally go to congratulate him. With Mingzhi's achievements, there should be a major adjustment in our mineral veins and real estate resources in Qingshui County this year. Congratulations in advance. Su family leader, congratulations. It's easy to say, it's easy to say. Ha ha ha. Lao Yang, why don't you congratulate me? Don't be jealous. My grandson is okay, isn't he? At the age of 15, he can be admitted to Baiyun University. Su Yang, the head of the Su family with a stern expression, looked at Yang Chaozhou with a proud smile. Humph, what can you do if you get admitted to Baiyun University? Practicing is a lifelong thing, and you are also a graduate of Baiyun University. I haven't attended Baiyun University before, so I'll crush you every minute. You're so proud. Yang Chaozhou's face was embarrassed and he gave Su Yang a fierce scolding. The relationship between the Su and Yang families is excellent, and Su Yang and Yang Chaozhou have an unbreakable friendship. But competition and comparison are everywhere, and Su Yang doesn't care about anything that falls into the trap. Seizing the opportunity to attack Yang Chaozhou will definitely not be missed. Hee, it's different. How can I compare the talent of my precious granddaughter? I only had 30 back then, barely enough. Oh, it's my granddaughter now. Don't be too surprised, Lao Yang. My precious granddaughter is also very strong, ha ha ha. Hui girl. She's clinging to my little Anne's nose, and she's also very strong to be my little Anne's daughter. Law. How strong can she be? Yang Chaozhou refused to take any advantage. But his gaze turned to the girl who was walking up to test. The once little girl has already grown into a graceful girl. You'll soon know, haha, old man, you'll regret it. Back then, I wanted to arrange a baby marriage for them, but you old man refused to agree. Fortunately, you didn't agree. Now, Lao Yang, please me. Please me. Me. No. Answer. Yes. Ha ha ha. My granddaughter is no longer just a yellow-haired girl who only knows how to look at her face. Besides being pretty. Su Yang, just say half a word more. Do you believe that I'm killing you now? Yang Chaozhou angrily said. You're still so angry at an old age. Pay attention to your health, the Yang family relies on you. Su Yang took a sip of his tea and said leisurely. At this moment, Su Minghui's test results came out, causing another uproar in the audience. 3 layers of bone-quenching realm, 40.9 pieces. This kind of talent, regardless of age, is no less than that of Su Mingzhi, who has 4 levels of bone-quenching. Cough, Lao Su, as far as I know, Miss Hui still really likes my family's Shaoan, right? Fart, that's before. Before. What do you think your daughter Hui is doing? Su Yang's old face suddenly turned red. His genius granddaughter, after completing the test, unexpectedly did not return to the queue of the Su family. Instead, she had an excited and red face, happy like a little rabbit, jumping straight towards the direction of the Yang family, and ran in front of Yang'an. Isn't this hitting Grandpa's face? So what? My girl treats Shaoan as a friend, it's not what you think, and it's impossible. Forget it. Yang Chaozhou originally wanted to say something, but in the end, he didn't say anything more. The relationship is good, but I used to refuse them. Now that I see them as amazing, I'm begging them again if this shameless thing can be done, I will do it. The key is that the old man's surname Su definitely doesn't agree. Alas, other people's grandchildren, other people's granddaughters. However, young Chaozhou, who was feeling lost, suddenly thought of something and his eyes became hot. I'm so depressed. My grandson has already opened his mind and broken through to the bone-quenching state. He is no longer the little fool he used to be. Why should I be disappointed? Moreover, my grandson's talent must be very strong. Yes, it must be very strong. Yang Chaozhou thought of Yang En's energy and blood, which were all under control 3 zhang away from his body. This was not something that a warrior who had just broken through the bone-quenching realm could achieve. Thinking of the potholes on the hard rock ground, which were just the pure physical strength of my grandson. Lao Su, my grandson is born extraordinary, but he is a late bloomer. Do you believe it or not? Yang Chaozhou suddenly said confidently again. He, Lao Yang, just be happy. Of course I am happy. If you beg me now, I will reluctantly fulfill humate servant's infatuation and wait no longer. Old thing, do I look foolish? Okay, this time you refused, don't regret it. Yang Chaozhou stared at Su Yang and said very seriously. Regret. Ha ha ha. Su Yang laughed contemptuously. Yang Chaozhou, however, stopped speaking and looked towards Yang En with hopeful eyes. He clenched his fist tightly. Xiaoan, have you missed me? What's wrong with sixth sister? Su Minghui, with big eyes wide open, approached Yang En and asked in confusion when she saw Yang Jing sleeping on Yang En's shoulder. Yang En looked at the girl with baby fat, touched her nose, and smiled, saying, she's asleep. Snug, long time no see. Fool Xiaoan, humph. Su Minghui pouted and refused, looking very cute. The grades are good, Yang En smiled. It's average, Xiaoan. It's been several months since I last saw you. You seem to be even better looking now. It's all my grandfather's fault for keeping me locked up and unable to go out. I've heard about Wanner's situation, she's so outrageous. Xiaoan, don't be sad, you still have me. Will I take care of you in the future? Are you going to be my maid? Yang En seemed surprised and asked. Damn it, who wants to be your maid? Su Minghui blushed. They just want to take care of you, idiot. So you want to be my little daughter. Law. It's not like that. Brother Xiaoan, you bullied me. Su Minghui's face turned red. Stupid little brother and is so annoying. It wasn't like this before, it's so embarrassing. Snug, practice well, you're still young. Yang En glanced below Su Minghui's neck, squinted his eyes, and said. Just 2 months younger than you. Su Minghui retorted foolishly. Sister, come back with me. At this moment, a cold and piercing voice came. Su Mingzhi, with a mature appearance and a dead face, walked quickly and gave Yang En a cold look before grabbing Su Minghui and leaving. This little brat's disgust towards Yang En is completely undisguised. Xiaoan, I'll come and play with you later. Su Minghui couldn't resist his stronger brother and turned around to shout at Yang En. Yang En shrugged his shoulders, his eyes teasing, but he didn't say anything. The performance of the Su siblings with 49 and 58 stars not only amazed the audience, but also greatly boosted the morale of the Su disciples, who performed very well. However, those who exceeded 30 stars never appeared again. But there is no doubt that with the achievements of Su Mingzhi and Su Minghui, there will inevitably be adjustments in the resource allocation of Qingshui County this year. The test is continuing. At noon, we finally arrived at the most eagerly anticipated Chen family in the whole room. Chen Nan, with a tall figure, basked in the sunlight, walked steadily, and had a resolute face. A sharply defined face exudes absolute confidence and arrogance. Chen Nan. Chen Nan. Chen Nan. Suddenly, the whole room erupted into a mountain-like roar, and Chen Nan's name echoed throughout the room. As the first genius of Qingshui County, Chen Nan's high popularity is evident. Young Jing, who was sleeping soundly, was awakened by the roar of mountains and tsunamis. Wiped away the drool flowing from a deep sleep and looked at Chen Nan. Chen Nan's faint voice echoed throughout the room. Chen Nan, 16 years old, with 5 levels of bone-quenching realm, is a disciple of the Chen family. With his words, a wild aura permeated. So strong. Just starting the game and not yet starting the testing, Chen Nan shocked the entire audience, even the previous Su Mingzhi was much inferior. Shua. Chen Nan's figure suddenly moved, as if leaving a trail of shadows, and he fiercely slapped it with one palm. Not bad. Unexpectedly, at the moment Chen Nan applauded, teacher Tang Qin gave a thumbs up. Bang! When Chen Nan imprinted his palm on the test tower monument, his already astonishing aura was once again raised. Crystal stones quickly light up one by one, 10, 20, 30, 60, without stopping. 70 pieces. Still not stopping. When the 74th crystal lit up, it finally came to an end. Shocked everyone. Is this the true strength of the first genius in Qingshui County? Emperor Dou's possession is terrifying. Chapter 7. 6 Sisters' Mighty Power. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Okay, that's great, Chen Nan, right? That's great. It's rare for a genius like you to appear in this small Qingshui County. If I'm not mistaken, you just used the wave folding palm, right? It's extraordinary that you can cultivate to a perfect state at such a young age. Martial arts is the use of power. Swordsmanship, boxing, palm techniques, and so on all belong to the category of martial arts. Similarly, based on the level of mastery of martial arts by the warrior, it can be divided into 6 realms. Proficiency realm, minor achievement realm, great achievement realm, perfect realm, subtle realm, and divine realm. Any martial arts skill, from the proficiency level to the ultimate level, can generally be achieved by ordinary warriors through years of practice and the improvement of proficiency level. But to achieve perfection above the realm of perfection, it cannot be achieved solely through the accumulation of effort and proficiency, it requires talent. Thank you very much, Teacher Tang, Chen Nan clasped his fists and said. Mu Weiner looked at Chen Nan with admiration in her eyes. The Yang family did treat her well, especially Yang'an, who never treated her like a servant. But she doesn't feel that her choice is problematic. Yang'an squinted his eyes. If he were still the little fool he used to be, it would really prove how wise Mu Weiner's choice was. Chen Nan is indeed much better than the little fool. Unfortunately he is no longer the little fool he used to be. Genius. What a genius is that? Yang'an is not targeting anyone. As a trader who has traveled through time, he can arrogantly say. All of you here, so-called geniuses, are garbage. Little brother, don't think so much. Chen Nan's talent is already ranked high in Baiyun County, and it's destined that it's not something we can compare to. We just need to be good at ourselves, don't compare with him. Yang Jing, who woke up, looked at Yang'an who was squinting her eyes, tugged at his sleeve, and whispered in a low voice. Of course I won't compete with him, Yang'an said. That's good. Yang Jing was speaking when her face suddenly changed. Yang'an also looked at Mu Weiner who walked out of the Qin family queue. At this moment, the entire Yang family's face became very embarrassed, and Yang Chaozhou was so angry that he trembled all over. Everyone else was a bit surprised. No one expected that Mu Weiner would appear at this moment. Undoubtedly, Mu Weiner's choice to appear at this time is no longer as simple as standing in the Qin family's team, which means she has to represent the Qin family in the test. Her grades are counted towards the Qin family. This is a complete face-wrenching betrayal. Although everyone was aware of Mu Weiner's situation, she was trained by the Yang family. In the end, when it was time to fight for the interests of the Yang family, she was picked a peach by the Qin family. If it were anyone else, it wouldn't feel good. But at this moment, Mu Weiner's gaze was firm, even shining with a hint of madness. She walked step by step to the test tower monument, nibbled her lips lightly, bowed deeply in the direction where Yang Chaozhou was, and then glanced at Yang En's direction again. Her eyes were filled with despair, sadness, and stubbornness. The voice trembled slightly. Mu Wanner, 16 years old, with 3 levels of bone-quenching realm, I represent the disciples of the Chen family to test. Chen family disciple. The 4 words were like a slap in the face, fiercely hitting the people of the Yang family. Yang Chaozhou's beard and hair are all open. Yang En frowned slightly, making me feel like I was doing something to her. What kind of gaze? What does it mean? Woman, it's really strange. Hee, brother Yang, don't be angry. After the test is completed, I will represent the Chen family and give you the Yang family a satisfactory compensation. Wanner, this girl, has talent and vision. Seeing the extraordinary qualities of my Nanner, I finally made the right choice today. Brother Yang, you can't blame my Chen family for not being moral, hee. Chen Zhanfen, the head of the Chen family, suddenly smiled and said with a strange tone. Chen Zhanfen, don't talk cold words in front of me like him. My Yang family still doesn't care about your compensation. It's just a maid from Xiao En's house. If you treat her as a treasure, then take it. Just pretend that my Yang family has never raised her before. Yang Chaozhou said coldly. My heart is dripping blood. Drip blood for my foolish grandson. He is also aware of his foolish grandson's attachment to Mu Wanner. That's someone more important than his grandfather. He really didn't expect Mu Wanner to betray. Was it because he was pushing too hard? What did the silly grandson say just now, which stimulated her? Psi 51. Mu Wanner achieved 51 dazzling results with a 3-layer realm in the bone-quenching realm, surpassing Su Minghui and directly pursuing Su Mingzhi in the bone-quenching realm. An absolute genius girl. The Yang family may not be able to hold on to the 3rd place this time, and the losses are so great. Poor little fool, even though she is his close maid, she probably hasn't even touched Mu Wanner, has she? It's all cheaper now, Chen Nan. I didn't expect that Chen Nan had been chasing her for so long, and Mu Wanner was only treating her politely and dealing with her. I didn't expect that she would directly represent the Chen family today. It's a bit sudden. It seems like a little fool said something. However, special code, the little fool is really foolish. If I had cooked mature rice long ago, Mu Wanner would have been too embarrassed to do so, and Chen Nan would have been too embarrassed to accept it. Look, even the little fool didn't react. A fool is just a fool. I'm afraid they didn't understand what happened. I actually think Mu Wanner did the right thing. The Yang family forced her to marry and have children with a little fool, which is too cruel for a genius girl. Besides, a fool, a genius, a blind person knows how to choose. No matter how beautiful she looks, what's the use? I would have done the same. That's right, little fool, there's no match for Wanner. Wanner's talent and appearance, only Chen Xiao in Qingshui County is qualified to let her give up. 51 will be lit up on the 3rd level of the bone-quenching realm, and this talent is not much worse than Chen Xiao. They are a natural pair. Good birds choose trees to inhabit. Mu Wanner is right. It's just that she's a bit dissatisfied with the cultivation of the Yang family. Pooh, don't be so noble. Being ungrateful is being ungrateful. Choosing the Chen family today for profit, you can abandon them tomorrow for profit. Growing up in the Yang family from a young age, how did the Yang family treat her, and how did the little fool treat him? Who knows? What's wrong with forcing her to get married? A servant, giving her resources to cultivate is a great kindness. Otherwise, no matter how high her talent is, she can reach her current level. Dreaming. The buzzing sound of discussion erupted in the crowd. There are those who despise Mu Wanner, and there are also those who sympathize with Yang En. There are also those who support Mu Wanner. Everyone has a scale in their heart. The testing is still ongoing. The Chen family has shown amazing heritage, with 3 more than 30 besides Chen Nan and Mu Wan'er. This is incomparable to the big families of the Su family and others in Qingshui County. The first place in the Chen family is almost predetermined. This year, the Chen family is also bound to be the biggest winner. It's finally the Yang family's turn. The Yang family, who is the #1 dog tycoon in Qingshui County, now it should be said that the former #1 dog tycoon will have what achievements. The strong rise of Su Mingzhi and Su Minghui has allowed the Yang family to maintain their second place for several years based on non-legitimate achievements, and they may not be able to maintain it. The Yang family, without the support of legitimate talented disciples, cannot win the glory and benefits they deserve even if the number of people who pass the assessment exceeds that of the Chen and Su families. The decline of the Yang family seems destined. Little brother, do you want to test it? Yang Jing asked nervously. Yang An, who has just broken through, believes that testing is better than not testing. After all, Yang An represents the only legitimate grandson of the Yang family. Since he has made a breakthrough, if his test results are too poor, it proves that his talent is too poor, which undoubtedly makes the Yang family even more embarrassed. Sister Lu, you go ahead. Yang An smiled slightly and said. Okay. Yang Jing breathed a sigh of relief, thinking that Yang An should not be able to test it anymore. Taking a deep breath, Yang Jing walked towards the testing tower monument. Yang Jing, 16 years old, with a bone-quenching state of 3. Ah. I'm sorry, it seems like I just broke through 1 layer. The bone-quenching state of 4 layers is the legitimate lineage of the Yang family. When Yang Jing introduced herself to Zhu Zhenyuan, she scared herself. She was inexplicably promoted to a higher level. When did it happen? How come there's no feeling at all? The trunk bones have been tempered several times. Could it be that I was promoted when my younger brother comforted her and inexplicably fell asleep before? Yang Jing herself was confused. Yang Chaozhou was also surprised to see his granddaughter dressed like a man all day. Is this a joke? Don't even know if you've been promoted. Good breath, little girl, calm down and start testing. Tang Qing was also slightly surprised. After sensing Yang Jing's breath, he looked at her affectionately and said. Thank you, Teacher Tang. Yang Jing took a deep breath and took another bite. Breath, relax, exhale, relax, inhale, exhale. Yang Jing inexplicably thought of Yang An's voice, which seemed to have a magical sound, and it instantly calmed down. The whole body's qi and blood also boil instantly. The loose and unappealing men's robe was stirred up by qi and blood, making one feel like a ball blowing. Tang Qing was slightly surprised. Even the 5 deacons who were responsible for registering and monitoring with a cold face looked at Yang Jing in surprise. Bang! Yang Jing slapped it with a palm and fiercely imprinted it on the test tower monument. The brilliant light bloomed one by one, rapidly spreading upwards. Everyone stared in shock. Yang Chaozhou stood up excitedly. 64. In the end, it was frozen at 64. The whole audience was shocked. Especially for disciples who are aware of Yang Jing's strength, they can hardly believe it. Although Yang Jing is excellent, her usual performance and combat effectiveness are not as good as Chen Liang, who took the 29th class exam. However, her grades at this moment are more than twice that of Chen Liang. Is there any mistake? How could Yang Jing's talent and potential be so high? Okay. Yang Chaozhou exclaimed excitedly. Amazing ahead, Su Mingzhi, who was also in the 4th level of the bone-quenching realm and achieved 58 dazzling results, was unexpectedly crushed by Yang Jing, who had just been promoted to the 4th level of the bone-quenching realm. How could Yang Chaozhou not be excited? Unexpected surprise. I can't believe the surprise at all. This is my granddaughter. Yang Jing also widened her eyes, staring blankly at the tower monument. It was clear that she didn't even believe she could achieve such a result. Okay, Yang Jing, that's great. Qingshui County is making progress this year. Just promoted to the 4th floor of the bone-quenching realm, you have shown such performance. I'm looking forward to it. What kind of performance will you have in the future? Through. Amidst the cheers of the young family disciples, Yang Jing returned to the team with a bewildered expression on her face. Sixth sister is mighty. Yang An laughed and said. Miss Six is amazing. Miss Lu, are you hiding too deep? You're so strong. You're so amazing. From today on, you'll be my idol. Miss Lu, you are the first genius in our Qingshui County. When you break through to the 5th level of the bone-quenching realm, you can safely crush Chen Nan. Who dares to say that our Yang family has no geniuses? Ha ha ha. The disciples of the Yang family swept away the previous haze, one by one like they had beaten chicken blood. In the end, for more people exceeded 30. Although they are all in their 30s, the quantity exceeds that of the Chen family. Just when the vast majority of people thought that the testing of Yang family disciples was about to end, Yang An suddenly stood out. Walking calmly towards the test tower monument. Chapter 8. One Riding the Dust. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. The boy who was originally scheduled to test behind the Yang family was ready to appear, but when he saw Yang An walking out, he could only stop and look at Yang An walking towards the test tower with a surprised expression. Is he going to test this? Eyes were fixed on Yang An in surprise. Yang Jing couldn't even stop in time. Little fool wants to test. Did he break through to the bone-quenching state? Can't it be? He has been trapped in the 9th layer of the quenching state for a year. How could it be so coincidental? It is not a secret that Yang An was promoted to the 9th level of the quenched body realm a year ago. In the past year, I have been unable to break through, obviously because I cannot comprehend the opportunity for breakthrough, which is related to my understanding. How could it happen to break through during testing? But everyone didn't think Yang An would be joking at this time. After all, Yang An is not a real fool. His intelligence is only slightly slower in development compared to his peers. This situation was still evident before the age of 11 or 12, when he was given the title of Little Fool. But in fact, at the age of 16, Yang An can no longer see any abnormalities. It's just a lack of words, always wearing a silly smile. A buzzing discussion erupted. Yang An, however, paid no attention and wore a signature, silly smile, on his face. Dressed in white, he walked step by step to the test tower monument in front of the public's attention. Self-inflicted humiliation. Chen Nan disdains the way. Mu Weiner stared at Yang An's figure, biting her lips tightly. Yang An, 16 years old, with a bone-quenching realm, is a legitimate disciple of the Yang family. Yang Anlang said in a voice. The voice of Qingyue resounded throughout the room. At the same time, a trace of qi and blood bloomed, and long hair fluttered lightly. Countless young girls who have just started to fall in love have their eyes a bit straight. It has to be said that no matter how strong you are, this appearance is definitely a flash sale for the whole game. Well, the realm is slightly lower, but it's very good. Tang Qing carefully scrutinized Yang An, but to his surprise, he nodded slightly and praised him in a deep voice. The aura of qi and blood emitted by Yang An gave him a pure and condensed feeling. Moreover, it was faintly felt that Yang An seemed to have some reservations, or rather, even the blooming of breath was under Yang An's control. Not like a warrior who has just been promoted to the bone-quenching realm. The whole audience was slightly surprised. Tang Qing actually praised Yang An. From testing until now, only Chen Nan and Yang Jing have been able to make Tang Qing speak up for praise. It's just Mu Wanner and the Su family siblings, Tang Qing said more. But at this moment, Tang Qing actually said that Yang An is very good. Where is it, very good? Being good-looking means being different. Everyone assumed that Tang Qing was praising Yang An's appearance. Compared to the foundation, as long as it is not a leap of great realm, it is just a floating cloud. Yang An smiled and said. A handsome and unparalleled face, shining with confidence and pride that a little fool has never had before. Tang Qing frowned slightly. But Yang An took one step and arrived at the testing tower, very close, so close that he couldn't gather his strength. I saw him move forward with one hand, thumb apart, 4 fingers together, slowly reaching towards the test tower. As soon as his fingertips touched the test tower monument, he suddenly exhaled and said, "Hi." With this loud roar, Yang An suddenly bent his fingers into a fist and exploded wildly. Bang! Amidst the dull sound of explosions, the huge test tower shook violently. Crystal stones light up at an astonishing speed. Oh my goodness, my goodness. Sleeping slot. How could it be possible? Everyone in the room stared in shock. Looking incredulously at the rapidly rising and illuminated tower monument. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 74. When surpassing Chen Nan's performance, there was no trend of weakening at all. 80, 90. The final freeze point is 100. 100. At this moment, there was a deathly silence in the entire scene, silent for a long time. Everyone felt as if their throats were being choked, staring blankly at the sparkling tower monument, as well as the white-clad boy with his fists as if imprinted inside the monument, his long hair flying in his calm expression. Even teacher Tang Qing and the 5 deacons are no exception. Chen Nan's face became particularly bright. Mu Waner looked bewildered. Why? Why didn't you break through early? Tears couldn't help but flow down. The grievances in my heart cannot be confided in. Yang Chaozhou was foolish. Su Yang, the head of the Su family, opened his mouth wide. Su Minghui's eyes were wide and round, and she covered her mouth with both hands that seemed to be about to scream. Yang Jing and the disciples of the Yang family were all dumbfounded, seemingly not believing what they saw, especially Yang Jing, who foolishly rubbed her eyes, rubbing them again and again. Silence, the sound of needles falling can be heard. After a long period of several breaths, okay. All of them are floating clouds. Little one, I thought you were crazy at first, but I have to say, you have the qualification to be crazy. Did you just cast Johnny Fist? Teacher Tang Qing was the first to break the silence, his eyes full of appreciation, staring at Yang An and saying. Johnny Fist. Teacher Tang, I haven't heard of Johnny Fist in my younger generation. But that name is quite appropriate, isn't it? Yang Anlang said in a loud voice. I haven't heard of it before. How did you do it? Tang Qing exclaimed in surprise. It's very simple, it's about mobilizing all the muscles, tendons, and bones in the body. Any trace of energy and blood that can be mobilized can condense into a single point and suddenly accelerate to explode at an extremely short distance. The mind, energy, and body can be integrated, and the sound, force, and qi can be reached. Of course, if it's easy to say, it's still a bit difficult to achieve. You need to put in some effort to practice. Alright, genius. Little one, whether you are self-aware or have learned the Johnny Fist, it's amazing that you can achieve such a level. Tang Qing's expression was clearly a bit excited. Teacher Tang, my name is Yang An. Yang An scratched his head and said. Ha ha ha. Alright, Yang An from the Yang family. Before the test, I had heard of you, the most beautiful young man in Qingshui County, truly worthy of your name. But little fool. If a genius like you were a fool, would you still be a fool in Qingshui County? It's just a joke. Tang Qing's gaze swept across the room, paused slightly, and then continued. However, Yang An, I would like to remind you that while foundation is important, pursuing perfection too much is not advisable. Especially as one's realm improves, it becomes increasingly difficult to achieve promotion, and the lifespan of a warrior is limited. Only by elevating one's realm can one increase their lifespan. Fortunately, you are only 16 years old and have been promoted to the bone-quenching realm in time. Otherwise, wouldn't a genius like you be buried? Although the simultaneous entry of qi and blood into the bones and the breakdown of the environment are strong, they are not much stronger than gradually refining the entire body from the entry of qi and blood into the bones from the limbs. The delay in time and the gains and losses are hard to say. I hope you can understand this. Yang was slightly taken aback and immediately clenched his fists and said, "Thank you very much for your guidance, Teacher Tang." In his heart, he was slightly surprised by Tang Qing's gaze. He could see that he had limbs, trunk bones, and skull, with 206 bones all over his body. At the same time, qi and blood entered the bone and broke through the realm. And at this moment, the whole audience was shocked by Tang Qing's words. Looking at Yang one by one, it seemed like he was looking at a monster. The whole body's bones are simultaneously filled with qi and blood, breaking through the bone barrier. How could it be? Generally, cultivators use one or both limbs in the bones of their limbs as a breakthrough point to advance to the bone-quenching state. First, refine the bones of the limbs, then use the powerful force of qi and blood to impact the trunk bones, achieving the penetration of qi and blood into the bones. Continue refining, and finally, the skull. The four limb bones are the first three layers of the body-quenching state. After quenching, it is the third layer of the bone-quenching state, which is the initial peak. The trunk bone is composed of 4 to 6 layers of quenched body realm. After quenching, it is composed of 6 layers of quenched bone realm, reaching its peak in the middle stage. Skull, for the 7th to 9th level of quenching body realm, after quenching is completed, it is promoted to the 9th level of quenching bone realm and reaches its peak in the later stage. But Yang, on the other hand, achieved the goal of qi and blood entering the bone and breaking through the realm with his entire body's bones at the same time, allowing him to directly refine his entire body's bones at the same time. At the same time, qi and blood enter the bones and break through the realm all over the body. The Yang family deserves to be the Yang family, it's really hidden deep. Yang Jing is, and the little fool is even more so. The little fool is so powerful and handsome. Mu Wan'er actually betrayed him and attached himself to the Qin family. This has become the biggest joke in Qingshui County, ahaha. Are you still a little fool? Didn't you hear what Teacher Tang Qing said? If Yang were a fool, our Qingshui County special code would be foolish. God is so unfair. He looks so beautiful and has such a strong talent that he can't let anyone live anymore. Look at Chen Nan, his face is so black that ink can drip out. Mu Wan'er is also foolish, isn't she? Shocked, envious, jealous, unbelievable various complex emotions filled the entire room. Especially Chen Nan. Faced with countless glances and buzzing discussions, Chen Nan's face became increasingly ugly, red in black and translucent in red. Black can drip ink, red can surpass monkey buttocks. Face slapping, he has always been arrogant and looks down on his peers. Just now, he threatened to win first place in both men and women with Mu Wan'er, but now he is being crushed by Yang red fruit. Step on your feet hard. My face is swollen, especially seeing Mu Wan'er's current appearance made Chen Nan unwilling and angry. Jokes. Yes, he became the biggest joke. Shouldn't Mu Wan'er also feel ashamed? But in Mu Wan'er's painful and lost expression, he could see a faint joy and excitement. Yu reading www.yuukangshu.net, but there was no sense of shame. Why? Little brother, you, how did you do it? You're so amazing. Yang Jing looked up at her pretty face and rubbed Yang An's handsome face with both hands, as if she wanted to get to know Yang An again, full of thick surprises and shock. Congratulations to Xiaoan for winning the championship. Xiaoan is the first genius. Xiaoan is the most handsome, strongest, and talented. Hee hee. Su Minghui also quickly came to support her. That look, as if she was happier than herself when she got first place. What nonsense. Keep a low profile, do you understand? Yang An pushed away Yang Jing's curious baby's paw and stared at Su Minghui, saying. But with a sharp expression on his face and his big white teeth exposed, he can even advertise his teeth. There's no trace of being low-key. Young master, I apologize to you, Li Hu. Young master, you are not foolish, not at all foolish. You are kind-hearted, broad-minded, and don't care about being bullied or ridiculed by others. As the young master of the Yang family, you have never bullied us, but we always thought that the young master was very bad and insulted the identity of the young master of the Yang family. Now we know that we were wrong. Young master, if you do it, you must do your best. Your whole body's bones are once filled with qi and blood, unheard of. Young master is a peerless genius. This is the fortune of our Yang family, the fortune of clear water, the fortune of white clouds, and the fortune of the Qian. Congratulations, young master. One of the non-legitimate disciples of the Yang family who barely passed the test, a typical black and sturdy Li Hu, was full of admiration and awe. Looking at Yang An, he punched and bowed like chicken blood, and spoke like a bell, flattering and praising him like a tide. Yang An was stunned. This gorilla is truly amazing. Chapter 9. Jealousy is true original sin. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Congratulations, young master. Congratulations, young master. Congratulations, young master. The disciples of the Yang family are all very excited. It's really exciting. If the Yang family is strong, then they are strong, if the Yang family is rich, then they are rich. How can one not be happy? Returning to first place, it goes without saying that their monthly income will rise slightly in the coming year. Humph, what's so remarkable about the breakthrough of the Breaking Realm pill? Sister, come back with me. And this harmonious sound sounded. Su Mingzhi, the little brat who owed a cigarette, finished speaking with a cold face and forcefully pulled Su Minghui away again. Hey, you're not as handsome as me, your strength is not as strong as me, and your talent is not as high as me. Jealousy, what a sin. Little brat, calm down, brother. I didn't mean to do it, and I also want to keep a low profile, but my strength no longer allows it. Yang An coquettishly stroked his long hair and let out a faint sigh, his eyes teasing. Su Mingzhi's cold face turned red, he gritted his teeth and pulled Su Minghui away quickly, unwilling to stop for a minute. Mofa, Yang An's words are truly a critical blow to the little kid. As a madman in the love world, the last thing he wants to see is Su Minghui clinging to Yang An. What's good about the once foolish Yang An's sister Ko has been fond of it since childhood, following Yang An like a fart bug, leaving his younger brother to play alone in the mud. I thought they would be able to completely get rid of Yang An after being promoted to the bone-quenching realm and passing the Baiyun Academy entrance exam. Who would have thought that he despised the foolish person to the extreme, but he rose up against the sky with a soaring posture, ranking first in the list. With a score of 100, he a bit desperate. Fortunately, he knew the news that the Yang family was seeking to purchase the Breaking Realm pill at a high cost. In fact, this news is not a big secret among the high-level officials in Qingshui County. The breaking pill is extremely precious, and the more advanced the breaking pill, the more rare it is. The Yang family can obtain the breaking pill from the quenching body realm to the quenching bone realm, but it is impossible to obtain the breaking pill from the quenching bone realm to the washing marrow realm again. Even the top dog tycoon in Qingshui County does not have the capital. Puff. Yang Jing burst out laughing and said, "Little brother, you're really enlightened. Little Zhe, that annoying guy, probably has a green face." Ha ha ha. Yang Jingxiao's flower branches trembled wildly. What doesn't smile without showing teeth, it doesn't exist. The test will continue. They are all scattered disciples who cannot be called family members. The final result was that only 16 out of over 1,000 people passed the test. But such achievements have far exceeded the single-digit achievements of Qingshui County over the years. There are 6 members of the Yang family, 5 members of the Chen family, 2 members of the Su family, and 3 other non-major family disciples. Tang Qing announced the list of candidates who passed the assessment and the official reporting time of Baiyun University. Yang An's name ranks first on the list. A score of 100, riding on top of the world, standing proudly above the crowd. This means that Yang An's strength, talent, and potential are all ranked first, and he is also the number 1 in terms of crushing nature. At the same time, it also helped the Yang family regain the first place. Chen Nan, known as the first genius of Qingshui County, has 74 stars, ranking second. Yang Jing has 64 pills, ranking third. The fourth Su Mingzhi has 58 pills. 50.1 Mu Waner. 49 sixth Su Minghui pills. After the first 6, the remaining 10 people are all in their 30s. Yang Chaozhou raised his eyebrows and exhaled, his old face beaming with joy as he enjoyed the compliments from everyone, unable to close his mouth. Lao Yang, that kid from your family is a bit regretful. Su Yang, the head of the Su family, does not give face. Unfortunately. Jealousy is the original sin. Yang Chaozhou joked. Obviously, the old man eavesdropped on the situation of Yang An and others. At their level, it's not a problem to eavesdrop at this distance. Pooh, you're so jealous. Who doesn't know how much the Breaking Realm pill has been improved? A score of 100 crystals proves that the overall talent potential is very strong, but what about intelligence? That's a fatal flaw, isn't it a pity? Suyang glared and said in a deliberately loud voice. However, while speaking, he secretly whispered, "Old man, is the Breaking Realm pill true? Whether it's true or not, you have to take it seriously. How sinister the morning slaying wind is, don't you know? Be careful. You." Yang Chaozhou frowned slightly and immediately gave Su Yang a fierce glare. That look was obviously very angry when Su Yang exposed it. However, Yang Chaozhou also whispered, "Hehe, the breaking pill is indeed used, but if I tell you that the breaking pill fails, my grandson will break through on his own. Do you believe it?" Suyang Chuanin said, "Are you serious? Did I deceive you?" What's going on?" Suyang was surprised in his heart. Yang Chaozhou's friendship with him was not necessary to deceive him. Since he had been rumored, it must be true. What's going on? It's just a late bloomer. Believe it or not. Yang Chaozhou's heart was full of roast. You ask me, who am I going to ask? There are 206 bones all over the body, and qi and blood enter the bones at the same time. It's a special code, only a fool dares to do this. Okay, my grandson did indeed lack a string before. But fortunately, it was successful. Yang Chaozhou also wanted to know what was going on, and vaguely felt that it might really be related to the breaking environment pill. Although Yang An couldn't break through after taking the breaking environment pill, he did not realize the opportunity for breakthrough until he took the breaking environment pill. This is something that Yang Chaozhou is unwilling to admit or face. Cough, Lao Yang, I believe it. So, Shaoan is probably amazing, and Xiao Jing is also quite good. Lao Yang, the fat and water don't flow into outsiders' fields. Why don't we form a marriage alliance with your 2 families? What do you think? Go aside. Yang Chaozhou waved his big sleeve and refused sharply. That night, the Chen family. Breaking pill. That kid broke through to the bone-quenching level with breaking pill, but even so, how could he achieve full-body qi and blood penetration into the bones? How could he light up 100? Is it because of what teacher Tang Qing said about Zhani Fist? Chen Zhanfeng, the head of the Chen family, is feeling very unhappy. But looking at my grandson, I can only suppress my displeasure. He thought Chen Nanding would win the championship, and Chen Nanding did indeed achieve impressive results in the exam. But Yang En, a little fool who their Chen family didn't even take seriously, suddenly rose up and fiercely crushed Chen Nan with despairing and incredible results. Yang En didn't mention it, but Yang Jing surprisingly achieved a score that was no less impressive than Chen Nan. After all, Yang Jingkai was promoted to the 4th level of the bone-quenching realm. The Chen family, who should have been the biggest winner, was even surpassed by the Yang family in terms of the number of people who passed the assessment. Over the course of a year, the loss of mineral and real estate resources was minimal, but the face was heavy. It should be. The test tower is not just about testing one's realm and strength. Otherwise, how could I possibly lose to an idiot with a bone-quenching realm? If I'm not mistaken, then the idiot must have cultivated that simple boxing technique to a subtle level. Chen Nan's eyebrows furrowed tightly. However, Chen Nan won't lose to anyone. A small assessment doesn't represent anything. No matter how high Yang En's test score is, it's only temporary. The bone-quenching realm relies on the breaking pill, the innate realm, and the foundation-building realm. Can he still rely on the breaking pill? Just an idiot, his intelligence is his fatal flaw. The bone-quenching realm is just the beginning. I will make Wan understand that I am his best choice. Chen Zhanfeng, the head of the Chen family, also nodded. Genius is a combination of spirituality, comprehension, and root and bone. No matter how high Yang En's overall talent is, his intelligence is also his fatal flaw. And understanding is undoubtedly the most important aspect. The higher one reaches, the more important it becomes. Just Chen Zhanfeng is not as simple as Chen Nan thought. Can the cultivation of Zhani Fist reach the level of entering the micro-realm, but is understanding really a weakness? But of course, he wouldn't say this to Chen Nan. Chen Nan has never suffered such a heavy blow before, and besides, he is afraid that even his martial arts heart will waver. Isn't Mu Wanner coming to stay at our Chen family yet? Chen Zhanfeng squinted his eyes and asked. Grandpa, I really like her. I can't force her. The Yang family changed her mind because they forced her. As long as I'm strong enough, she will definitely like me. Whatever you want. Chen Zhanfeng didn't say much more. This undoubtedly motivates Chen Nan, so he won't interfere too much. After Chen Nan left, Chen Zhanfeng's expression flashed with a hint of malice. Subsequently, several orders were quietly issued. That night, the Yang family was in celebration, with a constant stream of people coming to congratulate them. Many wavering warriors also signed up to join the Yang family. This is the benefit brought by the rise of his legitimate grandson Yang En. Yang En and Yang Jing are undoubtedly the main characters, singing and dancing at the bonfire party in the martial arts arena. 5 cousins who recruited their son-in-law, for young cousins, and 8 nieces aged 1 to 6, made Yang En truly feel how important he was as the only male lead to the Yang family. The hope of the whole family, a faint warmth, the warmth of home. Let Yang En, who has been reborn here, taste the warmth of a long time ago again. This kind of warmth is not unique to his comeback. The young fools, uncles, second uncles, and other members of the Yang family never treated him unfairly, but instead doted on him extremely. A little fool is always happy. Late at night, after the banquet ended, Yang En returned to the other courtyard and did not rest directly, but climbed onto the roof. Lying on the glazed tiles, with clear and profound gaze, gazing into the vast and profound night sky. Looking at the bright crescent moon in the sky and the shining stars, his thoughts drifted towards his distant hometown, which he feared would never be able to return to again. This is a brand new world. A brand new starry sky, with no trace of the Big Dipper. Even all the remembered constellations in the Milky Way cannot match the sign. The moon shines on the sea, and the ends of the earth share this moment. UU reading www.uukangshu.net. It is no longer applicable here. The moon here is not the moon of Earth. However, Yang'an did not suffer from the sorrow of spring and autumn alone in a foreign land. Chang. Suddenly, a clear buzzing sound broke the silence. Yang'an looked at the small martial arts arena in the other courtyard in surprise. Under the moonlight, a slightly hunched figure stood with a knife in his hand. His entire aura grew stronger as he slowly lifted the knife, and his figure no longer hunched. The meaning of the knife. Yang'an's eyes lit up and he jumped down from the roof, saying, "Uncle, the precious sword is not old yet. Are you always playing with emotions? Hee, young master, do you want to learn the swordsmanship of the old slave?" Fubo's slightly hoarse voice came, with a cool posture and an old face full of charm. "Can Fubo teach me?" Yang'an was full of interest and said. "First, let's see if your chi and blood control ability is sufficient. How is it enough? Just give it a try." Usually, although the bone-quenching realm can release the power of chi and blood externally, its ability to control chi and blood is very limited. To inject it into weapons, control it freely, and release it freely, the necessary control ability can basically be achieved in the marrow-washing realm. However, young master, your chi and blood can be condensed but not dispersed at a distance of 3 zhang. Moreover, you can achieve a score of 100 crystals without any accidents. Your ability to control the true element should be barely possible. Give it a try. Fubo looked at Yang'an and handed the seemingly inconspicuous knife to him. "No need to try the sword, try the sword." Suddenly, a voice came, and Yang Chaozhou followed suit. He jumped over the wall and landed lightly in front of Yang'an, with a graceful posture and a strong aura. Chapter 10. Inheriting the Treasure Knife. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Master, Fubo frowned, seeming a bit displeased. "Grandpa, didn't you drink too much?" Yang'an looked at Yang Chaozhou in surprise. It seems that both old men are showing off a bit. Is it really good to show off in front of former masters in the Mahayana realm? It's just a show. Grandpa gets drunk whenever he wants, and wakes up whenever he wants. Come on, Shaoan, try using Grandpa's sword. As long as you can infuse your chi and blood into the sword and control it freely, Grandpa will pass on the strongest swordsmanship of our Yang family, Lingyun's sword technique. Master, Shaoan should be more suitable for swordsmanship. Let's try my knife, Fubo argued. Qingfu, the sword is the king of all weapons. I think Shaoan is more suitable for swords, so let's try my sword. Yang Chaozhou insisted. Master, the sword is the leader of 100 soldiers. The old servant's sword technique is to attack and defend, reaching the highest point of strength. With a childlike heart and invincible momentum, Shaoan's temperament and talent are very compatible. He can definitely unleash his true power. The old servant thinks that the sword is more suitable. Fubo refused to give in. Our Yang family's swordsmanship is unpredictable, impermanent, and intangible, embodying countless changes. It is a model of defeating the strong with weakness, and swords are more suitable. Yang Chaozhou refused to be outdone. Yang'an looked at the two old men in shock. What was the situation? Is this going to be a fight? Competing to teach oneself? Master, why don't we demonstrate separately and let the young master see if he likes swords or swords? Li Qingfu's aura grew stronger and stronger, as if he was a domineering and leaking sword. Qingfu, Shaoan is the only male descendant of my Yang family. Yang Chaozhou took out his trump card. Presentation. Give me a demonstration. Yang Chaozhou is a little guilty. Li Qingfu is a knife cultivator who condenses the meaning of the sword, and the old man's knife technique is not simple. How could he not be clear? If we really want to demonstrate, Yang Chaozhou really doesn't have the confidence to compete with Li Qingfu. Don't be fooled by Li Qingfu's current look of a terrible old man. Once a knife is used, it will definitely make many old ladies fall for love. That domineering and arrogant posture is simply a model of pure men. Master, that's not interesting anymore. I watched Shaoan grow up and took care of him like a grandson. He is my own grandson. Fubo opened his mouth and stuttered. Cough, Grandpa, Uncle, what's there to argue about? I like swordsmanship and swordsmanship, can we learn together? Yang said casually. No way. Yang Chaozhou and Li Qingfu looked at Yang at the same time. Knives are swords, swords are swords. With both swords and swords, swords are no longer swords. In the end, you will achieve nothing. You can only choose between the two, said Yang Chaozhou. Not bad, only one can be chosen, said Fubo. Grandpa, Uncle, that's also what happens after reaching a higher level, right? In martial arts cultivation, the most important thing is compatibility. I was only 16 years old when I was promoted to the bone-quenching level. I haven't touched any swords or knives yet, so I have to try it out before I know which one is more suitable for me, right? What the young master said is quite reasonable, Li Qingfu said awkwardly. How could he and Yang Chaozhou not know this? Just robbing someone, of course, was ignored by both of them. Then learn swordsmanship from me first, Yang Chaozhou said directly. The foolish grandson has enlightened and can't be fooled anymore. However, preconceptions are important. Master, everything should be, first come, second served. This is my own grandson. Okay, Fubo has nothing to say. Yang Chaozhou glanced smugly at Fubo and without further ado, went straight to the main topic. I didn't avoid Fubo either. First, let Yang try to infuse the power of qi and blood into the sword, and then bloom through the sword body. Sure enough, as expected by Yang Chaozhou and Li Qingfu, Yang easily achieved the qi and blood control ability that most martial artists need to break through to the wash marrow realm. Subsequently, Yang Chaozhou slowly informed Yang of the sword techniques of his family's Lingyun's sword technique and provided a detailed interpretation. Just as Yang Chaozhou was about to speak for the second time, Yang stopped and said, Grandpa, I have memorized the sword technique. Let's start the sword moves. Shaoan, are you joking? Yang did not explain. Open your mouth and start reciting. When Yang Chaozhou recited half of the words word by word without any error, over 1,000 words, he stared in shock. What kind of memory is this? What shocked Yang Chaozhou and Li Qingfu even more was still to come. Yang Chaozhou only demonstrated the 70.2 moves of the Lingyun sword technique once. Just as he was about to give Yang a detailed explanation and demonstration of each move, Yang slowly lifted his sword and began practicing. With a standard posture and no pauses between moves, I practiced the 70.2 sword techniques from beginning to end. It seems like I have been practicing for months or even longer. Not to mention that, what shocked and excited Yang Chaozhou even more, and what made Fubo look jealous and resentful was Yang, who never stopped practicing swordsmanship, repeated his sword moves over and over again, constantly verifying his sword techniques. Every time he practiced, it seemed like he would gain new insights and improve so quickly that Yang Chaozhou felt like he was a fool. By the 6th time, Yang Chaozhou and Li Qingfu's eyeballs were almost falling to the ground. Proficiency level. At this moment, Yang finally stopped. It can't continue anymore, it's almost enough. Grandpa and Fubo are both his closest people, and the blow is too harsh and inappropriate. Grandpa, what do you think? Shaoan, have you ever secretly learned Grandpa's swordsmanship? Yang Chaozhou was a bit skeptical. Grandpa, when you're my grandson, my whole body's bones are simultaneously filled with qi and blood, breaking through the bone barrier. Are all the results of 100 crystal stones fake? Cough. Okay, Shaoan, you are definitely a natural swordsman. Swordsmanship is undoubtedly the most suitable for you. The 6th, 9th, 46th, and 63rd moves are actually slowing down. No wonder I always feel uncomfortable. Cough, Qingfu, do you see that? Do you still need to try your swordsmanship? Ah, congratulations to the master. Although the old servant really wants the young master to learn my swordsmanship, the young master's talent in swordsmanship and learning swordsmanship is really a waste. Well, let's take the old servant's swordsmanship to the coffin. This is my fate as the Li family. Fubo's figure became increasingly hunched, and his old face was filled with regret. The mournful words made Yang Chaozhou feel a bit overwhelmed. Li Qingfu has a mysterious background. Even if he had a life-saving kindness towards Li Qingfu, he was not aware of his true identity. The only thing he knew was that Li Qingfu came from the empire of Zhongshenzhou, and his servant status in the Yang family was determined by Li Qingfu himself, although Yang Chaozhou never made him a servant. But if one cannot bear to return, they will never compromise on Yang En's future. The Lingyun sword technique exhibited by Yang Engshi surprisingly solves a problem that he has been unable to solve for many years. What kind of swordsmanship talent is this? What kind of insight? Is comprehension a fatal flaw? Pooh. Yang Chaozhou has a clear feeling that his Lingyun sword technique may soon be promoted to the level of entering the micro-realm. My grandson, this is a lesson for him. Fubo, maybe my talent for swordsmanship is even higher. Yang En rubbed his nose and looked at Fubo. Young master, do you still want to try? It's necessary. Shaoan. Yang Chaozhou frowned. Grandpa, it was agreed upon. Yang En smiled slightly, his gaze fixed. Where would Fubo hesitate? What if Yang En's talent for swordsmanship is not weak? Okay. Young master, my swordsmanship is called the Overlord sword technique. To achieve the ultimate cultivation, you need to practice the corresponding technique, Blazing Sun technique, to refine your own strength to the level of hardness and yang. However, this is not urgent. You can learn the swordsmanship first, and I will pass it on to you now. Listen carefully. Okay. Yang En is looking forward to it. He is not lacking in martial arts, nor is he lacking in martial arts, swordsmanship, and swordsmanship. He also has top-notch skills, but his moves are easy to say, and his spells require reverse deduction and comprehension. So, it's necessary to learn from grandpa and uncle. 1 hour later. Shaoan, how do you decide? Lingyun sword technique is passed down by our Yang family ancestors. Young master, think twice. Your talent in the art of swordsmanship is unparalleled. Yang Chaozhou and Fubo both looked at Yang En with eager and hopeful eyes. I think it's a bit early to make a decision now. I'll practice for a while before making a choice, Yang En said. No way. Practicing both skills will create conflicts between sword and sword intentions, and no matter how high your talent is, your energy will ultimately be limited, said Yang Chaozhou. Grandpa, have you condensed the sword spirit? This requires luck and talent. Grandpa, I'm just a little short. Grandpa, you've been practicing for a lifetime. No matter how talented I am, it's impossible for me to condense the sword and sword meanings in a short period of time, right? So, conflicts and so on don't exist. Don't worry, when my level gets higher, I'll make a choice. Okay, Yang Chaozhou and Fubo didn't insist anymore. How did they know that Yang En had no intention of making a choice? For a genius of his level, the cultivation of swordsmanship and swordsmanship is nothing at all. Is there really a difference between the so-called sword and sword meanings? When there are no moves or movements, and there are no external shapes or restrictions on the moves of the sword can be a sword. The sword can be a sword, and it can be transformed according to the heart. It can be round and smooth, both hard and soft, and can be attacked and defended. This realm is not something that Grandpa and Fubo in the Wash Marrow realm can understand. That's settled. By the way, Fubo, although I haven't practiced the flame technique yet, I feel like it's just like the sword technique, it doesn't seem complete and there's always a feeling of wanting more. Yang En asked out the doubts in his heart. Young master, can you actually feel it? Li Qingfu exclaimed in surprise. Is it just a fragment? Yang frowned. Yes. It's a fragment. It's just that, young master, give me the knife first. Fubo seemed to make an extremely difficult decision and retrieved his seemingly ordinary knife from Yang En's hand. Immediately, amidst the puzzled gaze of Yang En and Yang Chaozhou, Fubo's aura erupted with a bang. The eyebrows became even brighter in an instant. The next moment, the knife in his hand suddenly vibrated. A strand of blood escaped from the corner of Fubo's mouth, and his face instantly turned pale. Young master, this sword is called Zhantian. Although it may seem ordinary, it is actually my realm and talent that have tarnished it. It is a treasure sword that has been passed down for thousands of years in the Li family. Now, the old servant has erased my mark, and from today on, the Zhantian sword will be passed down to you. Li Qingfu said with a cautious expression. This, Qingfu, are you inheriting the treasure sword? Or has it been passed down for thousands of years? Yang Chaozhou was shocked. Not bad, isn't that? Yes, there is a sword spirit. Yang Chaozhou's voice trembled.